What's up, brewheads? Welcome to another Brewthirty, where I drink a beer and pair it with a toy. Today, I'm excited to share a beer with you that is on my Mt Crushmore of beers. It's one of my favorite beers of all time, probably on my top 5 list, and that is Bell's Hopslam. Bell's Brewery out of Michigan has been making this beer for a long time. It's a double India Pale Ale brewed with honey, and it is a fantastic double IPA as well as a fantastic beer, and I absolutely love it. Can't wait to share this beer with you guys tonight. Before we get to the beer, we're going to be pairing it with one of my favorite cartoons of all time, Thundarr the Barbarian, and his sidekick, Ukla the Mog. You guys who are familiar with Hanna-Barbera, Thundarr the Barbarian was a post-apocalyptic cartoon that aired in the early 1980s, featuring Thundarr the Barbarian, his companion Ukla the Mog, and of course the female sorceress Ariel. It was one of the best cartoons on TV, and I absolutely loved it. It combined all the coolest elements of fiction. You had sword and sorcery as well as mechanical, cybernetic, robotic type stuff, which was an amazing combination for that cartoon of the day. And we all can remember what Thundarr would say, "Feel the might of my sun sword." And here we have the sun sword on this figure. So this is a great toy to pair this beer with, and I'm excited to try this with you guys tonight. So, a little bit about this Bell's Hopslam. Like I said, it's a double India Pale Ale brewed with honey. It comes in at a whopping 10% alcohol by volume. Now, I can tell you, this is a sneaky strong beer. 10% is a pretty high alcohol for any beer, really. But as smooth and as easy drinking as this beer is, it is dangerous if you're not aware of what you're doing. And I will tell you here a story in a minute about that. So let's go ahead and get this baby poured. So we're going to use a snifter tonight. I like to usually use a snifter for my snifter style beer glass, I guess, for my double or higher alcohol beers. And like I always say, there's no wrong way or right way to pour a beer. You pour your beer the way you want. I'll pour my beer the way I want, and we will still be friends, guys. So you can see this baby right here. By the way, this is the 2023 release. It just came out a few weeks ago. Retails for around $15.99 a 6-pack, unless you're living in where I live, and the liquor store that we have here in town commits highway robbery by charging you almost $20 for this. So if you guys know what place I'm talking about, definitely go in there and give them a hard time, because you shouldn't be ripping people off with terrible beer prices. That being said, beer pours a nice amber color. It's got a nice little head to it. You can definitely smell a little bit of the honey. It's a very small or a very strong malty beer. It smells really, really sweet. And like I said, it's really smooth and easy drinking. So let's take a little sip of this baby. Yeah, right off the bat, it is like drinking, you can definitely get the honey. The honey definitely comes through. Very sweet, malty, hoppy, perfectly balanced double IPA. Like I said, this does not drink like something that's a 10% beer. It's not super boozy at all, like you would find with some of your higher alcohol beers. So, like I said earlier, you got to really be aware of this beer and what you're doing. Several years ago, one of my best friends and I, about 11 years ago, we were at a local bar restaurant. I won't name it. But they had Hopslam on tap, and they were doing 4 full pint pours for $2, which is completely unheard of, right? I mean, that's like selling crack for pennies on the dollar. It's crazy. And there was this fella who was a local, or not local, he was in town, a construction worker, and he was at a hotel across from this bar restaurant we were at, and he saw there was a lot of buzz around this Hopslam beer. So he actually ordered himself a pint, and the barkeep or the bartender poured it, gave it to him. The guy pounded it, thought it was absolutely amazing. $2 a pint. So the guy drinks 3 more pints, I believe. while me and my buddy sat there and ate some appetizers and had ourselves a pint or two of this. He drinks 3 more pints, and this guy seemed like a dude who was kind of used to drinking your lower alcohol beers like your Coors or your Bud Lights. And the dude gets up to go outside and have a cigarette. So he doesn't come back in. And he drank, I think, 4 pints of this by then, like 10 ounce or 10% alcohol by volume with pints. Some person comes in off the street into the bar and goes, hey, there's a dude out there laying face down on the curb, and somebody needs to go out there and help him. He went outside to light a cigarette, was so drunk and didn't realize it, that when he went to walk back in, he missed the door handle and fell flat on his face and knocked himself unconscious. So the cops had to show up. They helped the guy up, clean him all up. He came in. He wanted to get another beer. That's how drunk he was. And obviously they denied him and closed his tab out. And then the cops took him back to his hotel. But that is my Hopslam story. I like to tell that to everybody. You have to really be careful with these beers if you're not used to drinking these higher alcohol beers, because they are very, very smooth and taste really great. But once you go down that wormhole, man, there's no getting back up. You're there. I mean, you're there. You drink 4 pints of this, unless you are an alcoholic or you're like a superhuman, like Wolverine, you're completely screwed. So just be aware when you drink these that they are delicious. Don't drink too many. So that's a little PSA I wanted to give you. This is absolutely fantastic. Like I said, this is the 2023 version of this, and it is awesome, man. I love it. I love Hopslam. I get it every year. I usually get 1 or 2 6-packs, and this will keep for a while. I know there's like born on dates on these, but I really don't pay attention to these as long as it tastes good to me. That's all I really care about. So like I said, 10% alcohol by volume, double IPA made with honey, Hopslam, Bell's Brewery. Check it out. If you haven't had one of these, do so. If you're a big double IPA fan and you're in the area and you can find this for a reasonable price, grab yourself a 6er of it, chill it out, and maybe jump on your Amazon and try to find a little Thundar the Barbarian and reminisce about those days where he was kicking mechanical wizard butt, guys. I hope you enjoyed this beer review as much as I'm going to enjoy this beer. And in the meantime, guys, cheers.